Hey, what's up? This is Laidback Luke, DJ and producer, Kung Fu athlete, and dedicated dad. Obviously, you see me, you watch me, you see me tour every week, you see me playing for a bunch of people every week, but I realized I never really shared with you how I exactly started. But first, a shout out to the comments of last week. Aldi Wani with an impossible question, because that's usually up to promoters' gossip. And shout out to Murdered Pain that wants to know what's in my backpack as well. So usually I carry my music in there, my little reloop recorder, my drone, my backup hard drives, my toiletries, and my producer pouch. This one right here with my in-ears and my dongles and my USB dongles, that sort of thing. Something I can grab quickly while producing and editing the vlogs on the road. So I'm about to take you on the road, but I want you to watch it all the way up until the end, because on the end I'll give you some statistics of when I started, when I had my first show, how long it actually took me to make music professionally, to live off of music. And so I'll take you into the vlog right now where something happened with my drone out in Sweden. No, it's not your connection. As you can see, I just got into my gorgeous hotel room out in Malmo in Sweden. And no, it is not your connection, because I actually flew out my drone just now and I lost it. Probably crashed into a building or something, but I can't seem to find it anymore. RIP my DJI Spark, my trusty travel companion. And so the footage you just saw was transmitted out to my phone while it was flying. So it was a little bit low quality, but at least I got to honor my drone with its last footage for you. Had a good weekend with awesome shows out here in Malmo live. And shout out to the Netherlands as well, where I played the Neverland Festival. But we're not going to stay here in Sweden for long. I'm going to take you back to Amsterdam, where I had an interview with Gaston from Chocolate Puma, who discovered me when I was 15 years old. Let's do this. All right, so we're here. We're here with the one that discovered me. This is, you may know him from Chocolate Puma, but his solo artist name is Dobra. Actually, I want to talk to you about that straight away, because I've known you under many aliases.
We started making music or producing records in the early 90s. You know, it was more underground maybe, more avant-garde, more art. So for every new project we thought we needed another name, because it was cooler.
There's a chance for people to listen to all of this stuff.
A journey through house, and we did like a compilation with, I don't know, 30-something tracks, like highlights for us, from Fresh Fruit Records, the label we ran at the time, and Pst Music. So it's like The Good Man, Give It Up, Jar Prongo, Moving Through Your System, René Gaston, Valet Alarm, and all those tracks. So there's like 500 other tracks you can discover on Spotify or iTunes or Beatport. So this compilation is like a little snippet of our whole catalog.
So make sure to check it out. It's a lot of history in there. There's a lot of history in my roots as well. I am gonna DJ at your party during Amsterdam Dance event, right?
Awesome, yeah. Will not be a techno party, but it's a chance for us to show people our darker side, maybe, more our Jar Prongo side. So we asked you if you wanted to do a strictly techno set. And luckily you said yes, so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so this is a huge honor for me to play techno for these guys, because, and we'll come back to this later, because he was actually the guy that introduced me to like the old techno stuff by DJ Pierre and Carl Craig. So my techno roots are rooted in what he brought to me as well. So we're going to talk about how he discovered me in a little bit, but first I want to discuss your new track that just came out. New collaboration with Tommy Sunshine?
Yeah.
Because there's been stories, and a bunch of you trolls watching right now, there's been stories on the internet about Tommy Sunshine and how he produces and whatnot. And so I am very curious what Tommy brings to the studio. Because I can clearly tell his influence.
Yeah, of course, yeah. First of all, he's like the biggest music lover. So he brings like a lot of knowledge and a lot of ideas rooted in his knowledge of music history to the table. So we can talk about music for hours, and that, I don't know, that kind of sparks the whole thing in the studio. So he's not the hands-on producer. Same goes for Renee, my partner. They don't know really how to operate Logic, but no, I can do that. So it's kind of taking all those ideas and like absorbing all the things in their minds and making a record with that, you know?
Which is interesting, and it's something that I've been telling people to do as well. So if you're a real DJ and you don't necessarily have the knowledge to like be as technical in the studio, go and partner up with a producer. And so, because he makes records on his own as well, but they sound very different when there's not someone in there bringing that creativity or that dance floor knowledge or just, you know, a spunk of craziness. And there's just so many things you can do when you put those two together.
Yeah, for example, we did a masterclass with ADE, explaining how we produce, and afterwards there were a lot of technical questions like what setting on the limiter, what's on your master chain. And also, for example, I was talking about like creating Scrub the Ground at literally like a desk like this at Tommy's place, you know, in kitchen somewhere in Brooklyn. I got that work. Like the sound of the record doesn't sound like that because we knew all these technicalities. It was because we were at this kitchen table, we had this vibe, and it felt right. Of course, it's important to know what you're doing, but it's maybe more important to not know what you're doing. I think that's the most fun, and that most of the time sparks the most creativity in the process of making records.
I think nowadays people forget that music is essentially a feeling. That's why we connect memories to music, and it actually has nothing to do with sidechain settings or making presets from scratch and that sort of thing. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with that, but in a lot of these occasions, the soul and the feeling of a track can get lost.
Yeah. For example, Scrub the Ground, we could never have made it without Tommy. So if Tommy wasn't there, the record wouldn't exist. It's a creative process, and why not have fun with other people in the studio and use their creativity to create records?
It's funny you mentioned talking countless hours, because this is one of the things that I remember of our sessions together as well. So we went to the same school. He graduated first, I think 2 years before me, maybe 3 years. And then he was a famous DJ and producer, and he came back to the school to perform.
Yeah.
This was finally my opportunity to, get a demo tape ready. Here it is. I don't know if you can read it, but my phone number is on there. And my first artist name as well. This was Peanut Butter, because I'm half Dutch and half Asian, and this is like peanut cheese. It's a long story. He finished his set, and I was super nervous. I had my tape ready, and so
this kid came to me with a tape, and I think you introduced yourself and said I also make music, and I was like, okay, give me a tape. And I don't know if I listened to it when I came home or probably a bit later. I don't know, but
I waited for a long time for him to get back to me, because I was like, yeah, this is it, man. So now we wait. So I waited, for me it was a long time, but I waited for about 2 weeks. Then I got anxious, and because we lived in the same village, through various people, I found out his phone number. And I think after 2 more weeks, I was like, okay, maybe I'm just going to give him a call. So I called him, and he was still living. He was that young. He was still living at his mom's house. So his mom picked up the phone. I was like, "Oh, I'm Luke. I gave Gaston a demo tape, and did he listen to it yet?" And his mom was like, "I don't know. I'll double check with him, and we'll get back to you." So another 2 weeks passed. I think I called again, and then your mom was going to remind you again.
Right.
And then some more time passed. And I picked up the phone once again, and I told his mom, listen, this is going to be the last time that I call. I really don't want to be a pain. I just want him to listen to my music. And last time So if we hang up right now, it's done, and you know what? Don't worry about it. So I hung up the phone, and I think within 2 days you called me back, actually. And so what was your first impression?
Well, it sucked.
It did. I actually didn't have any gear but you heard something.
Yeah, I heard you were very musical, and I thought, there's something about this kid, you know? Maybe I should invite him to my house, or to my mom and dad's house, actually.
This was the start of a lot of sessions, actually about 1.5 years to 2 years of me coming to his house and letting him hear my new tracks, and he would always give me feedback, and he would always show me other tracks that he loved, and maybe I could try something like this and that, and a lot of valuable information for me to grow as a producer. And if you're watching right now and you know me, you know that I do this to a lot of you guys nowadays as well, and that's because of him.
The thing is that I love what I do. I love music. Also, when I'm DJing, I'm like, and I hear a new record, I'm like, everybody must hear this new record. But also, if I discover a new production technique, I cannot wait to tell everybody. Like, oh, wow, this is amazing. So I think that was also like kind of the basis for these sessions, because I love to share all the knowledge I gathered, you know, during those years.
2 years into that, they offered me my first record deal.
Yeah.
Quite quickly caught momentum as well. And I just want to fast forward to one of the pivotal moments of my first breakthrough. My remix for Green Velvet, The Stalker. So this came into you guys.
Yeah.
You were originally asked.
Yeah, we were asked to do a remix, and we were like, maybe you can give Luke a shot. And actually, your remix is amazing, and our remix is the worst remix ever.
Well, I got real lucky.
It's so bad. So you got all the shine, you know, like.
And which is funny because this was such an important moment in my career, because the weekend before this came in, I went out to a party, and I heard this track play, and I thought, wow, this bass line from the original is amazing.
I'm losing my mind.
But it can use just some like dance floor energy, something that I would like to dance to. And then the week after, I got this assignment, and I was like, wow. And literally, I finished it in like 4 or 6 hours because I was so excited. Music Magazine named me one of the upcoming exciting new names from 1997. Daft Punk on the cover of this magazine as well. This is how I started, and like you guys, it's amazing to have someone like Gaston being there for me as a young producer, and he still is. I just need to reach out to him, and he's still there. We're just in this because we love making music, we love communicating with people, and making people happy with our music. Yeah, so I can't thank you enough, and I will absolutely always be very grateful to Gaston for picking up that no-name, no-equipment teenager, and here we are. Amazing to catch up and reminisce with a legend like Chocolate Puma. It really took me back to 15-year-old Luke and that feeling of how it was, similarly to how a lot of you feel right now, probably catching this vlog. And I hope that when you hear my story, that you won't give up and go and chase your dream. Make sure to check Chocolate Puma out on their socials right here. They are releasing incredible music still, and a lot of DJs play their stuff. So here are a couple of stats that you need to know. I started producing in 1992, and 3 years later I landed my first record deal. Then it was about 5 years later I had my first show, a paid show, as a DJ in 1997. And then finally in 1999, so 7 years after I started producing, I could finally live off music. And so it's been a long road of small successes, small ups and downs, some bigger downs and some smaller ups to get back up to maintain this career I have right now. If you've enjoyed me sharing this with you, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and also for next week, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna go candid again. Candid, it's gonna be standard vlogs about the backstage life, about Tomorrowland. I'll show you exactly how it goes, and we're gonna go back to those, those typical vlogging vlogs. Make sure to tune back in next week. Until then, L's up, rave safely, and salute.